Guten Tag, Chow, and hello, it's Docta with a list looking from the Assault on Endor 2022 Gold League. This video series will take a look at the list that plays top 2 in their pods and will be participating in the upper echelon of the Tabletop World Championship. Uh, Now we have Kelorn here, you might know him because he's one of the admins of the Tabletop Simulator Discord. So thank you, Kelorn. Golf clap for Kelorn. All right, and he did well. He finished first in Pod 14 with 21 points, tournament points there. He ended up winning by 30 margin of victory. Second place also had 21 points. So they really just went to town on poor bassist gamer. It seems like he lost 10-1 twice and 9-2 the third game. That's brutal. So Kelorn finished first there. 30-point margin of victory differential over second place. 2 wins and a loss. And he did so with the Sloan Fleet. 3 activations, 7 deployments. Deployments is about average. Activations is below average, but 7 other people had 3 activation lists. So, no bid. So he's happy going first, happy going second. And he is one of 3 Sloan fleets, one of 14 Imperial fleets. And let's take a look at the fleet itself. We have Admiral Sloane on an Imperial II Star Destroyer, Captain Needa as the officer, local fire control in the gunnery slot, reserve hangar deck, electronic countermeasures, SW7 batteries, and linked turbolaser towers. And the Quasar, we have Commander Vanto, flight controllers, boosted comms, reserve hangar deck, Squall. Gozanti has CommsNet and reserve hangar deck. And then rounding out the fleet in Squadrons is Colonel Jendon, Darth Vader, Maarek Stele, Mauler Mithel, Saber Squadron, 2 interceptors, and a TIE Fighter. So that's a big squad ball there, 123 points. And 3 reserve hangar decks means those TIE interceptors and fighters will be sticking around and being annoying. But I think what's most interesting here is, he's really posturing. This is not his list. He is kind of net listing here from one of the fleets over in Europe. I want to say it was from Hanover. But he talks about it on the podcast, the Armada podcast. Check that out. Just Google the Armada podcast, and you will get the Armada podcast featuring Kelorn, Fox Omega, and Juliet Whiskey. And then check the Hanover episode. I think he talks about this and wanting to fly it. Yeah. So this is a fun list here. I don't know what the objectives are, but I would assume advanced gunnery is the red. I mean, he's got the salvo tokens, so it's probably asteroid tactics. And then the blue will be I guess superior positions. I would guess. You're Sloan. You're gonna win the squad fight. Your squads are gonna be tapping dat booty, and maybe getting some victory points in the process. So there you go. I like the fleet as a whole. I think I'd rather have flak guns and make that salvo hurt even more. I mean, I like having the reserve hangar decks. I think they're useful, but I think the flak guns just makes more sense. Although it does let him throw like yeah, so when he's throwing the Quasar in there, the Quasar is activating the anti-squad squads. And what does that mean? It means Mauler Mithel. That means Saber. That's 2. He's getting the token. So 6. So he's getting 5 of these squads here with Mauler Mithel, Saber, 2 interceptors, and the TIE Fighter. And then probably Maarek Stele, if need be. or Colonel Jendon to have Saber tap twice. Something along those lines. So that's the game plan there, I imagine. And then Sloane herself on her flagship here, I don't think she'll be commanding squadrons at all. I think, yeah, I don't think she's commanding squadrons. I think the Gozanti might be tossing some squadrons or Maarek and Vader around as needed uh, to go after ships to start right away. And going at, I guess maybe Vader might be that 6 actually from Squall, and then Colonel Jendon and Maarek Stele will go after the ships to start. If I've had imagined that's how he throws things at people. That's how I would do it at least. So you tie down the squad ball, and then the savvy opponent will pop the easy things first to reduce the amount of dice coming in, and that's the interceptors and the TIE fighter. Well, now you can refresh them with a reserve hangar deck, and boom, they're back. So I get that. That makes sense. I still think I like that flak gun more on the Imperial II, and I guess it's a long-winded way of saying it's not a bad idea to have the reserve hangar deck on there. But I guess that's kind of the thought process here of the fleet. And I already kind of talked about the objectives, advanced gunnery, probably asteroid tactics, and spear positions. So we'll see how Kelorn does. He's been on a roll. He's been hot. He's been winning tournaments up the wazoo here in 2022. He's not world champion yet. And I mean, even if he does win the tournament here, he would just be the tabletop simulator world champion, not the Armada world champion. If you listen to the Armada podcast, you might understand why I am making this distinction. Okay, so anyways, he's a great player, great guy. He has the same first name as me, so obviously he's pretty cool by default. Check out his podcast, the Armada podcast, and we'll see how he does. I'll be updating the video description with the fleet's performance sometime after the tournament concludes in November, and check out the other lists in the playlist here. And thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you like more Armada content, or don't. I don't care. See ya.